Hey, what's up, everybody? You're now tuned into T.
And
And it's your girl, Jazzy JN.
my diesel.
And we in the building, y'all. We hope y'all are having a great day. Thank y'all for everybody that's been coming through and supporting the channel, man. Y'all are greatly appreciated.
Yeah, man. Y'all are the fam. We appreciate it, family.
All right, y'all. So, babe, what we got going today?
We have in Washington, D.C., they have elected a new advisory neighborhood commissioner. Okay. Now, good thing about this commissioner is, one, he is a black man, and two, he was actually incarcerated and got this position.
Man.
So we got a video for you and everything. And it really pretty much shows that in this one area, the only thing that's there is a jail facility for a women's shelter home. And it's a jail, and it's actually a women's shelter home. And everybody in this area voted for this man. And he should be out of jail in like the next 2 months, next 2 or 3 months when this was actually made. But he already won it while he was incarcerated.
Wow, he was in prison.
Have you ever heard of anything like that? I've never heard anything like that. This is so genius right here.
Man,
this is
mind-blowing.
I've never heard anything like that. You actually got to watch this whole...
Yeah, guys.
You gotta watch the video.
You got to watch the whole video.
What I thought was a lawyer came and represented everybody in this whole area, which was a population of people who were all in jail, because that's the whole area. That is not the case. This man was in jail in this area and won an election from behind bars.
Y'all, this is amazing.
In this area.
This is amazing. This man's name is Joel Castone, and he's 44 years old, y'all. He won this seat. And not only did he just win, his constituents were the people in prison.
Yes.
I didn't even know that people in prison in D.C., Maine, and Vermont actually have the right to vote regardless of what
while you in jail
you've done. I mean, this opens up so many doors. And the seat this man is holding has been vacant since 2003, y'all.
Was it 2003 or 93?
No, 2003.
2003.
So this seat has been vacant since 2003, where somebody could be in the prison and be representing the inmates.
It was 2013.
2013?
Let's see.
Vacant since 2013. I'm sorry.
2013.
2013, y'all. Almost 10 years. And so this seat was created 10 years ago almost. Mm-hmm. And look what happened. So it's created 10 years ago and it's vacant. Why do you think it's vacant? Because they don't want anybody representing the prison population.
They don't
want them to look into that.
If you what are they gonna look down on you?
Exactly. And this dude was genius. He has been reading, he's been doing his research, and he found out I can run. We can vote. And he got all these prisoners together, and look at them. They have become like the catalyst to change. It is amazing. Man. This story was, we just both sat here like pretty much mouth open the whole time, just listening to what they did. And when I tell y'all, man, the Most High is working, y'all. Great things are happening. Doors are opening. Nobody told him about this. Nobody offered this information to him. Mm-hmm. He prayed, he meditated, and look what God will put on your heart. Look what he will do. Look what it don't matter if you think there's no way out. This gentleman is in prison for an alleged murder, and he was able to make it. So
26 years, y'all. 26 years. Maybe some months. It's like 26 years he been locked up, and from being behind bars. Not the reason why he got this position, but while he was behind bars, incarcerated, he was able to win this election for this advisory board, this neighborhood advisory commission.
Yes.
That is huge.
That is. And he said that he has direct contact with the federal government, with the city council. He's able to sit down and write out things that he thinks should happen and implement different rules and everything. So he actually has power and he actually has a voice to speak to people. And the fact that even, let's say he didn't have that, the fact that he was able to mobilize these, they call, like they say, residents, these inmates in prison, he was able to mobilize them and get them to vote for him and win an election.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
This is and when you watch the video, it's gonna say it's a voting block.
Yeah.
It is a legal voting block.
Yep.
So anybody that want to pass through as a mayor or the next city council or something like that, there's a voting block right here that is up under one jurisdiction, and pretty much for you to get that voting block, you would have to go through this gentleman right here.
Yeah.
To explain to the people, unless you're gonna go into the jails.
Yep.
And try to convince the inmates and the incarcerated that you are a better pick than the person that they already picked.
Exactly. This for like that's exactly right.
That's why it's been vacant so long.
This is going.
Ain't nobody going into a jail.
Exactly, and this is going to force people that are trying to join city council and be the mayor and everything to care about the prison population because now they have a voice.
Yep.
And that's the thing.
No longer will you be able to vote and win with. Because some of these elections are really, really small. Some of these people, like you said, some people aren't even running for different positions. Some people win with 100, 200, less than 1,000 votes.
Yeah.
And the block that he has created, the voting block that he has created, depending on how big that jail is, oh yeah, you're going to go ahead and have to add another 600, 800, 1,500 people to your voting to people that vote in that area, because this could actually turn the tables in some of those smaller elections.
The same way that a lot of these parties reach out to illegal immigrants because they know that they can pretty much flip the whole voting system. Think about how many inmates that we have, especially inmates that are of the Black population. I think they said we make up 60 to 70%, if not more, of the population in prisons. And think about if they get their voice back. So I want to say that big shout out to GMJ, because even with the Second Amendment rights, he's been telling felons and telling people that have had cases, make sure you go look up and see if you can have guns. The same thing about in here. Look up and see. You might have rights that you don't even know about. This dude just did the work and looked up the information. Don't give up. I don't care what you're in prison for. Never give up and actually look and see what your rights are and see how you can change things. But this story is amazing, guys. Y'all gotta watch. I mean, watch the whole thing. I couldn't take my eyes off of it.
Most states you can vote after your
out
term
of prison
is done.
Right.
You're out of jail and your term is done.
Right.
I think it's only like 2 states that you can't vote, period.
Right.
Which is a very low number.
Yeah. There's some when you're on probation, you can still vote. Like you just gotta
on probation.
Yep.
You can vote.
Yep.
In a lot of states.
Yeah.
Just look it up.
But we gotta start reading, y'all. A lot of they say like if you want to hide something from Black people, put it in a book, and it's not a lie. They put a lot of secrets in these books because they're like, they ain't gonna read it. They're not gonna see it. And a lot of times we miss out. But yeah, don't believe me, just watch. Yeah. Man, we're about to change things.
Your laws against you.
Yeah.
You will have to change the law the very next year. That's what you would have to do.
Man.
That's what you would have to do. But by then, I'm already in and I'm already making strides for my people.
Wow.
In the situation that I was in, type of thing.
Exactly. So big shout out to Joel Castone. Man, we salute you. We salute you, brother, and we are proud of you. And he's taking this to other. He's showing other people this. Once the inmates get a hold of this and hear about this, and different people hear about this, oh man, it is over. And
we thought this was gonna be a totally
different
video.
Oh my gosh, wow. And this is a blessing, y'all. So this is an amazing story. I hope y'all like this.
Research, man, look him up. It's
Joel Castone. We're gonna have we're gonna have and big shout out to Vice, because we saw this on Vice YouTube page. They posted this about 4 days ago, and we're posting this from Vice. So go follow Vice, because sometimes we get some good information from there and get some good videos.
The Washington Post
and the Washington Post. We'll have that linked below.
Article on it.
We'll have that link below as well.
Man.
So Joel, you are changing the world, and you're just the beginning, fam. You are just the beginning, and you are waking up a generation of people. Oh, he's also, before we close out, he's also teaching them cryptocurrency. Yeah. He's teaching them financial literacy. He's teaching them he's teaching him when they get out of prison to have that that safety net and to have that help so they don't go back into the prison system. So Joel, you're doing big things. We appreciate you. And babe, you got anything else to say before we close out?
Yes. You can look up his name. You'll find him on, it's a list of a whole bunch of things and accomplishments that have been done. And everybody know that this position, the advisory board commission, what is it actually called? It's the ANC. It's the ANC. It's the advisory neighborhood commissioner is what he won. Okay. Now you might say, oh, he don't have no power here, no power there, no power there. That's okay. Because you have to start somewhere before you get to that other step, which is on the city council, or skip all that and go to mayor, or skip all that and go to governor, or write in for a presidential. It's a whole thing. So he done started somewhere. The ANC, Advisory Neighborhood Commissioner. From there, you can go on to the next thing, city council, or the mayor. Or you just keep on going. You just keep on going.
And I actually like the position that he's in, because he said he's actually able to submit things to government officials, to the city council, and he's in the inroad right where the prisoners are, and he knows exactly what they need. So I love where he's at, because a lot of people on the council don't look like you, don't know where you've been, never been to prison, never seen them,
thirsty,
and they don't care.
And they ain't trying to do nothing for you.
Exactly.
They really
not. This is a wonderful story. I'm glad we could bring this to you tonight. This makes me smile, y'all. Makes me smile. Yeah. So, and stay tuned, y'all, because we are going to be having an interview with Pastor Nick. If you did not remember the video that we did that K Money has sent us about
Marvin
Lewis Guy. Thank you, babe. About Marvin Lewis Guy. We're going to be interviewing Pastor Nick, who is the person that kind of got this all jump started. He was in the documentary, and he has close contact with him. So we all need to make sure y'all stay tuned, because we got an interview coming up with him. We can't wait to have that. And we're going to get some more information about our brother. We haven't forgot about him, y'all. All right. So thank y'all so much for tuning in to T. And we out, y'all. Peace.
Much love, family. Stay amped up.
Young and Emerging Programs Progressive Forward-Thinking Unit made up of community members, mentors, and mentees. The residents within this unit need your support to truly involve and shy away from past behaviors.
Well, I'm anxious to see you, man.
Welcome to our community.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
This is the Young Men Emerging Unit in the DC jail. It's not what most people picture when they think of a jail. The unit's filled with books, murals, photos, and vision boards.
You know, I think about prosperity. The way you can frame the way you think, the vision board is very important.
It's also home to one of Washington, D.C.'s newest public servants.
Well, my name is Joel Castone, currently now the ANC commissioner of this single-member district in D.C. Historical election, the first time anyone incarcerated won a seat while they are incarcerated.
Last year, D.C. became the first jurisdiction in the U.S. to restore voting rights to incarcerated people. That's also when city council members and people living near the jail complex started to organize a special election.
I discovered that not only could we vote, but we can also run for public office. And so I was like, okay, thought about it. Went to my room, did my little meditation, yoga, and things of that nature. And I said, you know what? Let me cast my name in the ballot. And I did it. My platform will be used to restore the dignity of incarcerated people.
With the help of correctional officers, Castone and 4 other residents recorded campaign ads that were posted to YouTube.
I come before you today asking for your support.
What kind of problems did you all run into trying to get people to vote inside of a prison?
Yeah, awareness was number one. You know, being aware of the fact that we could. You know, I think it may be a misnomer. Many don't know that incarcerated individuals are heavily invested in what happens in the news. Quite naturally, there were some individuals who thought like, why vote? My vote doesn't matter.
Castone grew up in Southeast D.C., not far from the jail. At 18, he was convicted of a crime for which he served nearly 27 years. Did you think it was a pipe dream, or you like, let me just try and see?
I didn't even think about winning. I'm always talking about civic engagement and what it looks like to participate in the democratic process. I just wanted to spark a ignite inside of the hearts and minds of particularly the people on the inside that we need to start thinking like citizens now. I, Joel Castone,
will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties.
And I will faithfully discharge the duties.
Ladies and gentlemen, our newest ANC.
D.C. was redistricted in 2012, creating an advisory neighborhood commission seat to represent the part of the city that includes the jail. The seat stayed vacant until Castone won in June. For the position that you hold, who is it that you represent?
It's the individuals who are currently incarcerated in both facilities here, commonly known as D.C. Jail is one block, as well as the women inside the Harriet Tubman Women's Shelter, as well as the individuals who live inside of the Park Kennedy apartment complex.
Bruh, these are luxury apartments. I looked them up, 700 square feet, $2,000 a month. Mm-hmm. How do you negotiate leading a diverse group like this?
With a dichotomy, you have poverty and prosperity living in close proximity. I think that's a small image of America as a whole.
Advisory neighborhood commissioners serve unpaid on a 2-year term. They meet at least 10 times a year and advise the city council on things like public safety, sanitation, housing, and education, as well as policy and legislation.
DC has 296 single-member districts, and they have 40 ANC commissioners. I have the authority to write resolutions and to address DC government and DC council directly, as well as federal agencies according to their rules. And so we're talking about solving the ills of our community, where we need people that come from the community to help you solve the ills. This is actually the survey I put together for my constituents, you know, so I can generate feedback on what's important to them.
And this is your constituency within the jail?
Within the facility, exactly, okay. Within the facility.
But you also got to reach out to the constituency outside of the facility,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I've worked through a lot of my liaisons that's out there allowing me to do that there.
Castone's staff is helping run his office remotely. They're all current or former Georgetown University students studying the consequences of mass incarceration. Abigail Glasgow manages the team.
Now I oversee 5 interns who run various channels for him. So we've got media relations, ANC-related relations, which are issues he's talking about, how to get involved with the community, events he's attending, ways where, particularly when he can't be physically present, we can liaise some sort of support. Financial literacy and partnerships, and social media.
Okay, so today I have a meeting.
So we also have a template, like an Excel spreadsheet, actually, I should say, where we log who's coming in, what are they asking, and then those are things that interns will go through with Joel. So much of the team's job is getting his name out there so that folks know he exists for that reason. But I also think that a lot of that interaction is going to depend on him being able to physically be outside and be able to go door to door, you know, and really engage. And I know he's really looking forward to that.
Until Castone is able to do that, it's down to people like Eric Weaver to educate formerly incarcerated folks on the power that can come from civic engagement.
This is one of the programs we just started. This is mostly reentry, so it's like helping people get jobs.
After spending 22 years locked up, Weaver now runs an organization that helps people get job training, government IDs, and housing when they're released. He's also trying to organize them as a voting bloc. What does it do for an incarcerated individual to exercise that right to vote?
It humanizes you to the point that you feel like a citizen again. I think we have come a long way from being convicted felons, convicts, and things like that to now being called returned citizens. It's going to change how we get treated because people going to need these votes to win.
It kind of makes sense that someone who has been incarcerated be in public office, because you pretty much touched every level of government.
I think they have a true understanding of the landscape of their city, as you said, by going through all those other things, and you're able to identify some of the things down at their level that really need to be fixed. And some of those things you can't understand unless you've been through it. I think as we continue to educate, organize, and mobilize returned citizens, the sky's the limit.
While Castone is learning the ins and outs of his new role, he's still a mentor with the Young Men Emerging Unit. He's worked with more than 200 men between the ages of 18 and 25 since the program started 3 years ago. Lieutenant Temesgen Andemichael oversees YME.
Crushers Club, starting in 2 minutes.
I've been in corrections for 11 years. So basically, the mindset that I had was just lock them in and throw the key.
So that's what you had initially when you came
Correct.
into this?
But I came to understand there are people who went through so much trauma, and there is a room for redemption and transformation. But it takes work. You are in corrections, so security is paramount. While you're doing that, you can still treat people as people. And you can support them, encourage them, at the same time, hold them accountable.
I think that character is the most important thing to be working on. We know we come in, bad attitudes. I try to exemplify a very diplomatic disposition at all times. And if I do fall myself being agitated or aggravated like any other human being, I have my outlets. This is what exercising for. This is what prayer is for. This is what yoga is for. This is what meditation is for. This is what other good men and women are for. That you can talk to them and be able to get things off your chest.
Good morning. My name is Amari Brooks. I'm checking in at the 10.
Good morning. Kayvon Brown, checking in at 10.
Good morning. Keyshawn Taylor, checking in at 2.8 trillion.
As you can see, on the scale of 1 to 10, we rate our feelings. We believe in mind over matter.
Castone sees himself in these men, and he's helped build a program that could have helped him when he was a teenager.
And today's topic, we're not gonna go on to the current and captain sessions.
The men circle up every morning. They read together, take courses, and do homework. They identify their passions and potential career paths. Outside counselors like Corey Knight come through the unit weekly to facilitate that process.
I took my old behaviors and lifestyles and I crafted into my new life and just became who I wanted to be. Create the life you want so you can stop living the one you hate.
What do you think folks outside of here get wrong about y'all?
Once they hear that word inmate, which we don't use in this community, we use resident, but like when they hear the word inmate, they just think like violence or you're a criminal. If they get a chance to know us, know the real us, we be like regular people with just different circumstances. You know, they didn't have certain opportunities that others might have.
They see us as like a percentage, a statistic, like a number. Like every time one of us get locked up, like they add that to the list of people that's massively incarcerated. You never know what a person is going through or transitioning through to get where they are.
A lot of us are students from Georgetown University, right? And during one of the courses of studying psychology, I read that an abnormal response to an abnormal situation is normal behavior. Gun violence is just simply a symptom of a deeper sickness. So when they see these kids act out, don't just question, don't look at what he did. Why is he doing it?
It seemed like y'all strong in here, like proud community and very supportive. Is there any concern that this doesn't exist outside the way that it does here?
I'm planning on taking this home with me to the streets. We already have some of the mentors that left here who are already trying to help curb the gun violence. If this was on the street, given to the kids before they reach that certain age where they got their mind made up, I think it'd be very vital.
Don't let nothing rattle y'all cages. You valuable, man. And you can't let nobody take that from you, man. You may not get no money orders, you may not get no business, no letters, none of that stuff, man. You gotta try to find another way to survive that, man. Remember, it haven't been 27 years waiting to go home. It's been 27 years what? Preparing myself to what? To never come back to prison, man. If I can encourage other men and women who are currently incarcerated start to say that this doesn't define me. I'm greater than my present circumstances. If they begin to exude that type of confidence, then others receive them as such.
How long did it take you to read this?
I don't even know. I did it during the pandemic. I read both of them.
Castone is studying to be a commodity trading advisor and plans to launch an investment counseling business called Currency Catchers.
Ordinarily, I would say, you ain't read all this, but he literally had underlined and highlights to the very last page, unless you got it used.
Nah, I did not want to continue living life as a drug dealer, a hustler. I want every incarcerated person to have a bank account and a brokerage account so they can have saving and investing. If everyone is thinking that way financially, and you going home and you have a financial stability behind you, then that lessens the pain or that reduces the rate of recidivism.
If one of the reasons you got locked up in the first place is because you was out in the streets hustling, and then once you come out, you ain't got no money, then it just makes it that much easier for you to go back to hustling. And
you got it. It's all an economic issue.
I gotta get a picture of mother and son together.
All right.
Castone made parole earlier this year, so he's preparing for life outside jail, not just as an elected official, but as a small business owner. He recently finished an entrepreneurship program offered by the DC government, specifically for returning citizens, and he was granted a day-long furlough to participate in a pitch contest.
We are going to start off with a very special guest today. He is the first elected representative to represent incarcerated people in the district. And I am so happy that you're here with us, Joel, but I'm going to give the stage to you.
Our economizing plan is for individuals seeking financial services to build wealth through stock ownership and to generate revenue through option, future, forex, and cryptocurrency investing. My incarceration experience was not a vacation. It was a dissertation. Give me 12 months, I'm gonna create currency catch throughout the nation. Join the movement. Thank you, everyone.
He was awarded a $5,700 grant to get Currency Catchers off the ground.
My name is Michael Woody. Me and Mr. Castone been knowing each other for quite some time, well, almost 30 years. Unfortunately, had an opportunity to be around each other in multiple facilities. I'm the first individual to be released under the L.I.A.Y.D 3.0. It stands for Incarceration Reduction Amendment Act. It's the third version of a law or bill that was introduced by DC Council, which allows guys who have been sentenced to long prison sentence and who have now shown that they have rehabilitated. It affords them an opportunity to have a reduction of sentence with the potential of being released. So I'm fortunate and I'm grateful for that. I hope Joel is released soon, so we can rebuild our relationship and continue to do some of the things that we discussed. And he has a bright future. I support him.
We're finally giving people inside voices they deserve, giving them agency, validating their humanity. I think could really turn around the criminal legal system as a whole. And at the end of the day, just show people inside that someone is listening, because people have not been, and people still aren't, but they will.
I don't see it going too long before we actually have a returned citizen that actually, grew up in DC, committed crimes, and is now a council member or something else.